Hello, everyone. All right. Well, ah, well, let's start by the basic. Welcome to Dragon Memoria. For those joining us for the first time, greeting, and for those returning, well, it's a pleasure to have you back. And for those wondering what this channel is and why are those people watching you and why you're watching those people, it's about us playing Dungeons and Dragons. Now, as you might have noticed, we are short one player. We actually don't know what's going on. We know that he is going through some difficult things in his life, so it could be because of that. Hopefully he will be able to join us.
Actually, he just popped online on Discord, so it should be on in a second.
Good. So maybe he'll be there in a few moments. Hopefully. All right. New things? We are on Twitter now. Yay! I finished making the Twitter, and hopefully some of you watching or who will be watching tonight have answered to the chirping of the Twitter call. All right. So, let's start. First, can anyone confirm that we actually have sound?
Yeah, I turned it on for a little
All
bit.
right.
I heard
Good,
my
good.
voice when I spoke up, so we're good.
Still a little bit nervous about that. It was a nasty
Yeah.
shock learning this.
Yep.
All right. So, last time we finished right after the party. Reunited. Almost too late, but everything ended well. Danger was averted thanks to Tobiyashi, who threw a fruit across the crowd of people right into the face of someone who was about to magically attack audience. As for Valtteri and Trevor, well, they were slowly making their way to this huge crowd, relying on what they could hear from people walking in the street and what Tao, Trevor's owl, familiar owl, I should say, could see. The reunion went relatively well. However, this didn't last, as we quickly realized that audience's feeling and Trevor's ego had both been injured by the recent events. So the party made its way to an inn, which was mistakenly named to them as the Dancing Purple Unicorn. But when they arrived, they realized that the inn was actually spelled in Draconic and was actually the normal barrel. They all came inside the inn. They tried to explain one another, and things didn't go exactly according to plan. We ended with Tobiyashi running to his room to get a little bit of calm and quiet, audience leaving the inn to get a bit of peace and quiet, and Valtteri and Trevor awkwardly looking at one another inside the bar, inside the inn. And this is where we left off. Well, alright, so hopefully we will have our monk in a few minutes.
Okay.
Maybe
he responded in Discord, says coming soon. So
alright. So, well, This means we know what Tobiyashi is doing, calmly meditating. We're going to go to Valtteri and Trevor, who have been left alone. Trevor partially intoxicated, and Valtteri pondering the reason why she never started drinking in the first place.
Should have took me up on that glass of wine when I offered it.
Actually, Trevor right now is a pretty example why my...
Okay, now you're quiet.
Now you're very quiet.
Okay, wait, let me get my better.
Yes.
Still better, but still pretty quiet.
Wait a second. Better now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, well, Trevor is the perfect example probably why my character wouldn't start drinking. So...
Just don't do it when you're angry. That's nice.
Angry drinking, yes. This always
Just
results in a lot
intensifies
of
your
things.
personality. So if you're already an asshole when you start, then it's just going to get worse.
So now I have the problem that I actually wanted to go look a little bit outside of the city, but I can't just leave Trevor drunk alone here.
Oh, he's just sitting there reading his children's book, and he'll actually just take out his little arcane focus orb and just start twirling it in his hand as like a stress ball too, to just kind of calm his nerves.
Okay, I'll tap Trevor on the shoulder. I'll just quickly go out and look around the city. Maybe I find something interesting.
Okay, just don't go too far and get lost. Just keep track of your steps and which direction you're going, because it's pretty easy if you don't know your way around.
Okay. So I'll go outside of the inn or tavern.
Yep.
Do I know from where I am where is about closest entrance to or exit to get out of the city?
Well, I'd say make a simple intelligence check, because since you got inside the city and you pretty thoroughly searched the main street, there's a good chance that you actually do remember what direction you have to go to get to the gates.
Yes. 19.
19, of course. You remember exactly where you have to go. However, I would have to ask, audience, when you left the inn, where did you go exactly? Did you just stay outside, or did you go somewhere?
I was going to head to the guard station to go get a writ so I could perform my worship legally from now on.
Yes, of course. Alright, so Valtteri, you don't see audience when you come out of the inn.
Well, I don't think I would have even noticed him by all the people. Aren't there any more people around?
Right. He might have been like a foot taller than everyone else out there, so he might have stood out a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, I'll try to head to the nearest exit of the city.
So you're inside mostly. We could call this the residential district. There are very few shops, and you actually.
Hello.
Hey.
So there are actually very few shops, and you can actually even easily find small gardens, and probably even places where there are a few trees, just to sit and watch people. Or you can just try and leave the town, which would actually take you maybe an hour and a half to find your way outside of the district and past the little entrance district outside of the wall.
Okay, so I know that it would take longer. I'll.
an hour isn't that long, but still,
Yeah,
it's
true. It is an hour.
yes, and it is an hour coming back.
Yeah, that would be 2 hours. Math.
Yes.
So I'll.
All we need is an example of 3 hours, and we're gonna call ourselves an educational show.
Indeed. I'll sit down under a tree, and first I will try to see or feel if I can sense my friend nearby.
Well, actually, yes, you can sense something. The anger has died down a little bit. You can when before you could feel a radiating anger toward you, followed after that by simply a strong anger. Now the anger has subsided, but you can still feel frustration, and from time to time you can feel a hint of humiliation.
Okay.
See, as in she felt humiliated by what happened.
Yes. Is there a shop that sells fruits where there are also cherries?
Well, the shop selling fruit, yes, of course. Cherries. Hold on. Cherries. Well, it's almost the beginning of summer. No one would know actually when cherries start to.
Well, it depends. Well, here it depends on what type of cherry it is. There are actually cherries that are starting really soon in the year, but also some that aren't even edible before summer, so it depends.
Well,
that's here in Austria.
Technically, yeah, no, I know. It's just to give me a little bit of insight on kind of
But
most
look, cherries are
like May to August. So I don't
yeah,
know.
most are like middle and end of spring towards beginning of summer. That is when most of the cherries are.
Yeah. Well, actually, right now you're 3 weeks away from the solstice of light, which in this world here translate to the summer solstice. So you are technically very close to summer. I would say that it is possible that you can find some.
Okay, then I will go look for cherries.
Then I would have you make a perception roll.
Yay! But oh well, I'm not used that my perception is that high with other characters.
One question.
Yes?
I'm still in the bar, right?
You are currently in your room meditating.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I rolled with my perception bonus a 17.
Yeah. It's going to take you the better part of an hour finding someone that has cherries. It is a little bit early in the season, but there are some. Since it's early in the season, it is a little bit more costly than what you would have normally. But yes, you can find some. Actually, you find some on the stand of a traveling merchant coming from deeper inside the island. A female half-elf. She is right now tending to the wares, and she has a good variety of fruits and vegetable, mostly fruit.
I'll go up to her and good day.
Oh, hello. And how are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
Oh, well, it's a bit late in the evening. I was just about to start wrapping everything up and putting everything back in our crates.
Oh, is it
But if
still...
there's anything you want, yes, we're still open. I can sell them to you, no problem. What
Yes,
do you
I
like?
was interested in the cherries. How much?
The
would they-
cherries. Well, it depends on how many do you want. You see, a good quantity of them. I'd say the equivalent of a bowl that you can put both your fists in. This is as much as you seem to have right now. Some are not completely ripe, but most of them are.
I would like a handful.
A handful. All right, all right. Okay, let me see. And she takes a little balance, put a little plate on it. You see her put weights on one end, and then she takes a few cherries. Say, will this be enough? There's roughly a handful of them, maybe 20 cherries in there.
Yes, that's perfect.
All right, so she looks at the balance and adds one weight, change it for another weight. It's going to come to 2 silver and 3 coppers.
I'll give them to her.
She takes it, pockets it, and place all of the cherry inside a little cloth bag, closes it with a little string, and hand it to you.
Thank you very much.
Do you need anything else, miss?
No, thanks. That's all I need. Thank you very much.
Very well. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Then she goes back to
I'll
closing her
also,
shop.
I also head off back to the tree I was and actually get some of the cherries, like put them kinda in front of me. And I'm waiting for some reaction.
All right. Oh, this is interesting. Do you remember the perception of Orina?
Wait a second. Let me quickly. Forgot to open that one.
Monster Manual.
Yes.
To the dragon. Perception is +3. So, okay. It takes a little while, and actually, the first thing that those cherry attracts are not Orina. You
When
actually
there's
see.
something else coming, I will try to shoo it away.
Well, you actually find yourself in front of a squirrel.
Oh.
He's trying to approach. He looks at you, makes a few jump, looks at you again, makes a few more jumps.
Quarterstaff attack.
I carefully, slowly take out my drawing book, actually, and take a little sketch of it. Also with the cherries and it slowly approaching it.
Alright, well,
I put 3 or 4 cherries in front of me.
You see the squirrel make a few more jump, looks at you, and he's hesitating for a few moments. Then when he sees that you're not trying to get close to him, he starts just making small hops, and you see him reach over, and you get a jolt of jealousy coming from somewhere, and you see the squirrel get tossed around by something that you can't see what it is. And obviously the squirrel is fighting something. He's being tossed, and then he's jumping back, trying to bite something, and eventually, after losing one or two, well, a handful of fur patches, eventually goes away, and you see a cherry, then 2 cherry, then 3 cherry being dragged away by something invisible.
After that happened and before that invisible thing could slowly go away.
So as the squirrel fur slowly starts to fall quietly on the floor.
Yeah, I'll try to talk to Arena. You don't have to be humiliated in front of me. I'm sorry of what happened. I tried to protect you. And also put 2 more cherries in front of me and see how she would react. As a peace and offering it also as a gift, as an apology.
So you see, you hear, or rather you feel, a little bit of resentment. Followed by a feeling of being naked, then a feeling of being humiliated, and then a little bit of anger, and then you see your cherry go away.
Well,
would you like to make an intelligence roll to see how this actually fits inside the real conversation? I will allow it.
Yes, that would be really nice.
Roll for decipher.
Okay. Just raw intelligence?
Intelligence with modifier, but not proficiency.
Yes. It's not natural 20. I rolled a 19 and I have a plus 1.
Pretty good. When you think about this, you realize that, yeah, feeling naked probably relates to being forcefully taken out of invisibility. And humiliation felt in this context would probably be having been imprisoned and treated as a household bird. And the last bit, anger toward you letting all of this happen.
Can I still feel her nearby that she would hear me talking?
Well, actually, right now, you are feeling satisfaction.
Okay.
Most likely related to
the cherries.
Yes.
Yes. But I know that she would be still close, that she would hear me talking.
Maybe.
Okay, then let's try. Arena, I'm sorry. I never wanted this to happen to you. I really tried to not them taking you away from me, and I would never treat you the way they treated you, and if it's, well, I was really pissed at that wizard guy, and not Trevor, the guy who put you in the cage. It also hurted me when I saw you like that, and I know you hated it, and so did I. And I hope you could forgive me and know that I would never treat or even could imagine in treating you like that. And I wait for a response then.
Okay. How loud are you saying this?
Loud enough that if she would be nearby, could hear me, but not like other people that are like a little bit further away.
Not
All
like
right,
audience
so-
is preaching or anything.
Yeah,
not-
no, I would
not-
know. But what I mean is how loud. Are you saying this as if she was a few, in your case it would be a few meters in front of you, or on the other side of the street, or...
A few meters around,
All
like
right.
somewhere around me. Maybe on the tree above me or something, because I'm
All
sitting
right.
under the tree.
I'll have you make persuasion with advantage.
Okay. Well, that doesn't matter because with persuasion, because that's 0.
Well, with advantage you get to roll
advantage,
twice.
though.
And
Yep.
true.
Did you bribe her with a check?
That's a 7. That's a 15.
Well, you see? There is a difference.
Indeed.
So, two things happened. First, as you stop talking and you look at the trees around you and wait for an answer, you hear from the corner of your ear someone say, "Mommy, the tiefling is talking to the trees." And you hear a woman answer, "Get away from her. She's not well." And they move off. After that, you feel a slight pause in the satisfaction that you were feeling, and you feel a little bit of doubt, followed by curiosity, and then weariness, but not in a bad way, and then satisfaction again.
Okay.
Do you want to roll for this?
Yes.
This one, however, because it is relating to a very recent conversation, I would say that this would more be... Well, I'm going to give you a choice. You can either solve this through logic, which would mean intelligence roll, or intuition, which would be wisdom roll.
Oh, I'll take the wisdom.
Go ahead.
Like, ooh, 21, but not a natural 20.
Yeah, well, 21 is usually not natural 20.
Just might have a +1 bonus, yeah. You still
I mean, I have a +4 bonus, but yeah.
Well, usually people will say, "Oh, I have a natural 20," and then they will say how much it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All
you
right,
can guide
so
yourself.
your intuition tells you that it felt a bit like someone saying, "All right,
The fog.
fog of
Trevor
war."
cast fog cloud inside the bar.
Yeah, Too bad you don't actually have a cantrip like that. That would be easy.
Yep.
All right. So, oh well, actually, I think you have firebolt. You could have set fire on whatever you were looking at. You said you were basically stress casting, so cantrip would be very natural.
Yep.
Instead of squeezing
Burn
that,
it. Just burn it all down. Yep.
instead of squeezing that little focus you have, it's more like fire, not fire, fire, not fire, fire. All right, Valtteri. So it feels like the conversation probably went a bit like. Really? I wonder. Well, maybe. That feels like probably the thought process that created those emotions.
Okay. Yeah, the satisfaction, of course, was the cherries.
Bribery always helps.
Because now I know that she actually can hear me, I keep talking, and I don't know if you can remember, but when we were in that room and out of a sudden your invisibility was gone and I think you also fainted, I kept holding you in my arms, not wanting to let you go to protect you, but then I also fainted. And when I woke up, you were not there anymore. I panicked. I was sitting in front of those wizards, and when I saw you, I was completely in shock. I was angry at them. I was angry at me. Yeah, that's all I can say as an apology, and I really hope you forgive me, and that maybe our bond will even get stronger through this experience, so yeah.
Make another persuasion roll.
Yucky. Just one roll this time?
Yes.
Okay. Come on, mama. Come on, baby. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. 16.
16.
Is that enough?
You feel. How do I translate that in a simple feeling? Feels like you're being blamed. And yeah, it feels like she's blaming you. And then you have a feeling of evasion, emotional evasion.
Mm-hmm.
And it also feels like a reprimand.
I have to Google that word.
A reprimand, it is really blaming you, but a bit stronger than this. When you reprimand a child, say you would just say, "Don't do this. You shouldn't have done this," but usually with stronger words, a bit harsher tone.
Okay.
reprimanding a child is not as much as punishing, but it is
Making them hurt
underlining.
emotionally. Yeah.
Yes, punishing them sort of emotionally. Or hinting at that what they did is something that should be punished.
Well done.
So basically, if you want to roll again, you have a better understanding of this, what was said, I will allow it.
Again, wisdom or intelligence?
If you want to go with logic, it's intelligence. If we want to go with intuition, it is wisdom.
Intuition. $24, natural 20.
All right. Well, your gut feeling actually is very strong on this one, and sort of feel a little bit hard to swallow, but you have a very strong feeling that she feels you are avoiding to take responsibility for a decision that you took, which led to this.
Okay. God damn it, now how can I show her that I want to take responsibility for this?
And right now you are feeling a heavy sense of satisfaction, as if she was eating 2 cherries at once.
I don't know how I can show her that I am taking responsibility. Or would then take responsibility accepting that she doesn't want to talk to me now for a longer time. Can I roll at that?
Alright, so this is something that I will say to everyone. Wisdom is... The difference between intelligence and wisdom. Intelligence is logic and pure knowledge. Wisdom is feeling and intuition. It is always possible at any moment. If you want to know if your intuition is telling you something, you can always ask me to roll for intuition. So this will be a wisdom roll with modifier. Or if you feel that because your character is actually living in this world and feeling this, and a week hasn't gone by for him, unlike you, you can always ask me to roll for intelligence if you want to go for knowledge or pure logic. At any time, you can always ask me. However, remember that if you ask me repeatedly, the DC will go up, especially if it's always on the same subject.
Right, yeah. It's just for me personally right now, the understanding of what happened and how Arena would see of how taking responsibility would look like for her. I don't know if I could roll for that, like if I could ask you for me to roll for that to see what you could mean with that.
Oh, you're gonna roll for intelligence or wisdom yourself. I'm not gonna roll for you.
Yeah, no, but if
I'm just asking if she could roll to try and see if she could interpret what. To let
I
her
could
know accurately.
if that even would be something I could roll on.
So exactly what do you want this role to give you?
The knowledge of what Urina sees as what would be for me taking the responsibility of my wrong
All right.
actions.
So because you rolled a natural 20,
Yes.
maybe this will help you in finding a way. Um, it feels like what she is blaming you exactly is the decision you took which led to this, which was to follow Trevor, knowing that it would separate you from the group and bring you in a school which you had just noticed was a place heavily defended.
Okay. Uh, I'll again try talking to her, and I know I did make a wrong decision. Nobody's perfect, but a reason why I even went with him and not went back is because he would have still gone alone, and I was worried that if he would go alone that something could happen to him. The same was when we were still the three of us standing there and Audience was alone on the boat. In my head I was like, but what is with Audience? If Toby wouldn't have gone, I would have gone and would have let Toby and Trevor leave, and I would have gone back to Audience, because if group splitting happen, and I honestly think it won't be the last time that it will happen, it shouldn't be a group of 3 and a group of 1 person. It better should be a group of 2 and the other group of 2. So that there's a chance for both groups to survive stuff. And I know I have put us in trouble with that decision, but I didn't know what could have happened. It was the first time for me also going through a teleport, so... And this is still also new for me. I've never been to such a big city before. I've never met so many people, and it's so overwhelming for me. And in those moments I really need you to kinda hold me together. So right now you're the... Not right now, in total, you're the only person actually who knows me now for so long that I still feel at home right now. You remind me of home, and losing you would be... I don't know what to do if I would lose you, and I will take responsibility and for my actions, and yeah, that's all I can say. And after I said that, I'll slowly stand up and go towards back to the inn.
So, as you are about to finish to say all this, you feel a little bit of frustration, a little bit of exasperation, and then just as you stop talking and turn around, you feel something hit you behind the head. Small object. And sort of a brotherly frustration mixed with playfulness.
I turn around and like try to kind of see, like from where it about hit me, of where it could have came from.
It's hard to tell. You don't even know what hit you.
Okay, then I turn around and look at the ground to see what first hit me.
Make a perception roll.
Perception 4.
Tobiyashi, are you alright? Your camera is gone.
Whoa, what the heck?
And it's a 19.
19.
Start back.
Alright. Well, on the ground, you find 2 cherry seeds
Yeah.
That should be it.
Kind of figured.
mashed together and held together by a chewed leaf.
I'll look up at the tree where the leaves are to see if I kind of figure out where she could be.
Oh, wow. Well, do a perception roll with disadvantage.
Okay. First one is a 20,
Too bad.
and 11.
You can't figure out where it came from. From the angle, you'd say it was up, but that's it.
Yeah.
So most
Okay.
likely somewhere inside a tree.
Yeah, I'll just look around and lightly smile. Yep.
All right.
I don't know what to say anymore. I'm already an emotional wreck right now, so.
Maybe it's a good sign that actually Valtteri doesn't know what to say anymore.
Yeah,
You gotta go with the flow sometime.
I know. I am speechless.
Yeah, just soak it in, man.
I'm.
Well, I'm gonna leave you a few moments to
Yes.
gather yourself.
Yes.
We're going to go with Tobiyashi. You are meditating in your room after everything that has gone down. You heard someone coming up the stairs, but no, it didn't last. And you have been meditating in your room for how long are you willing to meditate?
Well, how long is a short rest?
You can feel the benefit of a short rest after 20 minutes, but you can only take 1 short rest per hour.
Okay, yeah, I'll just wait for 20 minutes because I need a short rest and
Very well.
yeah.
So,
And
are you planning on using hit dice to heal yourself? Or is that
no,
all?
I don't. No, it was
All
for
right.
my key points.
Ah, all right. Very well.
Yeah.
So, as I've said before, the rule on short rest is unless that the rule book states that you need to take longer than 20 minutes, you can feel the effect of this after 20 minutes. But if the book
Okay.
says you need 30 minutes or an hour, you will need an hour to recover. Otherwise, 20 minutes.
And after I meditate, I guess since I'm relaxed now, finally got away from all those people. Heard someone stepping up the steps earlier. I got a little scared.
From all that negativity.
Yeah, I just walked in. I was like ready to relax, and everyone just got on each other. So I'm going to head downstairs and try to see if I could find where everybody is, if everybody's still in the bar or what happened. to
Trevor, are
everybody.
you still
Yeah, I'm
stress
still.
balling Firebolt?
Yep. Just see him. Yeah, you walk down, you'll just see him reading a little children's book, twirling his arcane focus in his hand there, just
And occasionally
relaxing
you see a
by himself.
Firebolt and he throws it into the fireplace. Firebolt in the fireplace.
Literally
In the
burning
fire.
off steam.
Gosh. So I'm gonna see that, and I don't see anybody else in the room, right?
Well, audience, are you planning on coming back in a few minutes, or are you outside for as long as you can until sunsets?
I mean, however long it takes me to get my thing from the guards.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. I'd say that going back there. See the time of the day. Well, sure. The guards will greet you and say that it is a little bit late in the afternoon for this, but if you would just step in the office next door, they're going to fill all the necessary paperwork and you can come back in the morning to get your permit.
Okay, then I'd probably return after I did that.
All right, so
Okay,
probably
yeah.
an hour later, audience would come back. So
Okay.
Tobiyashi, I believe you still have a little bit of time before
Yeah, I do.
audience returns.
So yeah, I'm gonna see that Trevor is over there a little bit steaming still, and I'm gonna go to the bartender nonchalantly, and I'm just gonna order me and Trevor a drink, and I'll tell him to pass it over to him, and I'll I won't sit right next to Trevor. I'll sit one away from Trevor.
Just what he needs, more alcohol.
Just out of reach and just in case, you know.
No, I'm just in range now. Oh gosh, he has advantage. No,
So
The
you're
further away you are, the better I am. You know.
so with your passive perception, you can notice that Trevor doesn't have ale in his mug. He has wine.
Okay.
Are you going to buy him another pitcher of wine or a mug of ale?
Bitcher.
Yeah.
So
You
for the
didn't see, you
purpose,
didn't see all this really go down between me
Yeah,
and
I have
audience. You
a-
just heard about it.
for the
I have
purpose
a-
of having a nice visual reference, you can buy him a pint of wine or a pint of ale.
Okay. Fine then. I'll buy us both a pint of wine, and
Alright.
I'll sit next to him and I'll say, "So, how's it going?"
I've had better days. What about you?
Other than all these people, I think it's going pretty good. I just something happens when there's too many people around me. Not used to it.
Not a fan of crowds.
I don't think so. That's my first time being in a big one.
Yeah, I guess it could be a shock to the system if you're not used to it. Yeah, takes some acclimation. Yeah, Valtteri was a little weirded out by it all too, and a little taken back as well.
Yeah, we had a pretty nice time coming in here. I take a big like swig of my wine.
Yeah, I'll take a drink with you.
It was
yes.
pretty easy getting in here, just taking care of that dragon. It was a little harsh.
Dragon?
Dragon child, dragonborn, dragon
Oh.
kid.
Dragon child, yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not really sure what you would call them. Everyone calls them different things.
Officially, the race of audience is a dragonborn.
Okay.
But yeah, I think your first instinct with Dragon Child was about right in his case.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that with him and the strategies. Yeah, me and him got into it big time. He walked away at just the right time because I was just about to pull this out if he didn't. So yeah, it's we all need our cool off time now. But yeah, he went somewhere. He just walked out. Val said she was going to find something. I'm not really sure what, but yeah. So just me and you for now.
yeah, it's probably for the best.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so.
Um, so kind of reminds me of Oh shoot! It kind of reminds me of when I was back at my monastery when we would usually get new kin to arrive, new monks to come into our monastery. It's either they really got along from the long time that they had to spend together, or they ended up almost killing each other. So it might go either way.
Yeah, I could see this definitely going south fast, depending. Yeah, I think my best course of action is just to avoid talking to him unless I have to, because
Yeah.
we just have quite the different perspectives, and I mean, everybody was picking up on my strategy but him, so um, any strategies I come up with, I'm not going to be the person to explain it to him. Yeah, that might be best left up to you guys. Ones that he actually likes.
Uh,
So
he
I might need you guys to be a mediator for me if I can smooth this over with him when he comes back.
hopefully
Yeah.
usually we would let them fight each other until they would have enough. But for this one, I think it would be a little unfair unless you had some way of advantage, unless you want me to teach you some things.
Well, no, long as I can keep my distance, I don't think it would be much of a fight.
That's
But
probably true.
but well, since we're alone, I didn't want to blindside you with this while everybody was around. But just curious, not calling you out or anything, but why did you lie to me about the dream when everybody else had one?
Well,
I know you lied because it was just plain as day on your face. So I'm
well,
just curious.
since I'm not usually one to have a dream, as you call it.
Hmm.
Usually when usually monks who have dreams are um, not really special, but kind of rare because how we're taught and everything.
Yeah,
So
for a
it was
little
kind
bit.
of offsetting to me. So I didn't want to let anybody know what I was dreaming if it was anything to begin with.
Uh, that's understandable if you're not used to it. Yeah, I guess it could be a little off-putting there. So
I wasn't
I
meaning
understand.
anything by it.
Yeah, it just from my perspective, one of the first things I asked from one of the other people, and they lied to me blatantly. So it made me pull back a little bit, but be honest with me now, and I understand. So like I said, I'm gonna try and smooth this over with audience. So I was trying to get a clean slate with everybody here. So figure I'd give you your chance as well, rather than just keep holding it in. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. The only thing I would have a problem with is next time if we do have a plan to leave, um we at least get the rest of everybody, because it kind of leaves things like this to happen, and if everyone was just in on everything, it would be um, more of a friendlier
Yeah,
type of
I
story than it
understand
was right
that.
now.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand and appreciate that as well. But the vibe I was getting, it was kind of a now or never thing, and I'm not going to explain myself to the audience, but as I explained to Valtteri on our ride here, my last boat ride, not counting the little 4 hour trip that we took, almost killed me. So I got a little bit of phobia of boat travel. So yeah,
Okay, I see.
if you want to relay that on, that'll be you. But like I said, I'm gonna try and smooth this over with audience. But overall, I think I'm just gonna try and avoid conversation as much as I can, at least for a little while.
Okay.
I'll leave that
Well,
to you.
I drink. Oh, how much is left in my cup or pint?
Well, you only took 2 big swigs, so I'd say you still have somewhere between 2/3 and a half.
I'd say
Okay.
Trevor's about the same. I'm like, you want to race?
I don't see why it could hurt.
All right.
All right,
On
get
three.
ready. Watch 'em.
1, 2, 3, and
Go as fast as I can and just start chugging.
So I'd say both make a Constitution save.
all right.
Okay. And if only I was level
Oh
3.
shit, that's pretty good. 15 plus 3, so 18.
Okay. Oh wow, you got a better constitution than me.
Mm-hmm. And plus 3. I'm not so squishy of a wizard.
21. 19
Oh
plus 2.
shit. Yep.
21. Well, actually, Tobiyashi, you finish your drink before Trevor.
I'll just go
Well,
down.
I've already had a picture, so I think there's not that much room left in here.
Just look at him
Good
like,
job.
okay. I've only had to do this for practice. But yeah, you have fun with that. Thanks for discussing with me and having a nice, peaceful conversation.
No problem. Yeah, I've calmed down a bit since then, and if you see Valtteri or audience, let them know I'd like them back at the bar. I'd like to have a sit down with everybody and try and just smooth everything over, especially audience.
Okay. If I do see them.
Yep. I'm just going to hang out here for now. I still a little relaxation I need. So
Tobiyashi, by the way, 2 pints, 2 silver.
2 silver. Okay. Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome.
you guys are the money bags right now anyway, so you're fine.
Oh wait, I was going to Electrum. Oops.
Yeah, 2 pieces of Electrum would probably buy you a barrel.
I'm gonna get up and when I look around the bar, how many people are in here?
Right now, there's not much. You are getting into 2 in the afternoon. You can see in the corner there is still that half-elf. He's alone now. And he's slowly enjoying a pint of something. You can also see a dragonborn sitting alone in a corner. He's nibbling on some chunks of meat while reading a book.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna. Sorry. I'm gonna. What should I do? I'm gonna go out the front door. What do I see like right as I walk out?
Well, it's mid-afternoon almost, so you don't see much. People are starting to. Well, whatever shops there were are actually almost all closed. Civilian population, the commoners, and all those who work outside of their shop or will be walking toward probably one of the exits or toward their home. Those who have to work outside, like those who tend fields, or some who might have volunteered to help start with the preparation of the solstice of light. So the streets are rather calm right now, and you can easily deduce where people are going. Most of them are going to one of the two gates leading out of this district, either outside of the city or toward the merchant district. Any shop that is not about food will be closed, but you can still see a few shops for everyday things like metal workers, not all blacksmiths, but metal workers to help to repair small metal object. They're preparing to close, so that's about what you can see outside.
So how long has it been since I was talking, since I came downstairs?
10, 15 minutes, 20 if you took a few more sips than you let on.
Probably. But, yeah. What I was gonna ask was, is there anywhere there's like trinkets, like musical instruments, but like little.
Well, it is getting a little bit late to shop for this, but probably there.
Well, I would just look around, like the bar area, like if there's any shops around. If not, I would just
make a perception roll.
Just do a little window shopping for tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, just look around. Since nobody's out, you know, a little calmer.
A little time to relax now. Yeah.
Perception?
Perception, yes.
18.
All right. Not in the immediate vicinities. No, you don't see anything that would be making musical instrument.
Okay.
It is only one street, however. It is probably the second largest city on Estrin, so if you want to go exploring outside of the street, might take you an hour and a half to get good idea, especially if you jog your way out of each street.
I'm just gonna look down the road a ways. Do I see? Well, yeah, I would look for audience since I heard he was walking down the road. See if he's walking back up.
Well, no, you don't see him anywhere. But you can always try to track him, although in a city that would be a bit hard.
I'll give it a shot, I guess. Survival?
Yes.
4.
Definitely don't see anything. You look at this. You look at the street and say, "Wow, I didn't expect it to be that hard tracking something, walking on stone streets. They don't leave a lot of traces." All right.
Well, I'm gonna sit right next to the door that's in the front right there of the bar, and I'm gonna say, well, in my head, usually when you can't find something, you let it come to you. So I'm gonna sit next to the front of the door and eat one of my fruits that I have.
All right.
2
So,
left.
yeah, audience. This is going to be a weird question, but I'm gonna have to make you choose between blue or black.
Blue.
All right.
Lead with the blue.
Well, if you want to know, it refers to my 2 d20 rolls.
Oh, nice.
I made you choose which roll was yours.
I can't see the numbers. I don't know which.
No, I made sure that those weren't the numbers. I just let you see what you were choosing. Which of the 2 rolls was yours? So you're walking. I'd imagine after that you're going back to the inn.
Yes.
All right. So as you're walking, you see maybe you're halfway through the inn, and you see 3 people coming toward you. They're a little bit sturdier than the average commoner. Broad shoulders. From where you are, they look humanoid, so most likely human or half-elves. However, they are walking straight toward you, one beside the other, sort of forming a small wall.
Okay.
Well, what do you do?
Can I roll? Can I roll insight on their intentions?
Yes, you can.
Like try and get a feel for what their intentions are. Okay.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, that would be insight. I get +0 to insight, really. Yeah. 11.
11. Well, you get the feeling that they're intentionally going straight toward you. And other than that,
Okay.
nothing else.
I'll stop and kind of like look at them, like so they know that I see them, and kind of stop. Like,
Okay.
what do they do?
They start walking a little bit slower, but they keep walking toward you. And now they're starting to be close enough that you can see that they all have emblems on their chest.
What are their emblems?
A wolf head.
Okay.
Gosh.
Here we go again.
So I'm about halfway back to the inn.
Yeah. Guess you should have taken black, huh?
No, dude, I'm ready. I'm here.
Like, I'm blue pill. I'm blue pill.
Almost full HP. He might be able to do this.
After I see the black thing, I'll kind of look around, see if I see any guards nearby, and do I see any guards nearby?
No, but as you turn around, you see 2 of them, another 2, coming from behind.
Okay.
They're boxing you in.
I'm gonna draw my sword and shields. And kind of be like, so, it's come to this then.
Gotta get his anger out.
Yeah. Good time to take out that frustration.
All right. You hear one of them let out a small chuckle and say, "Oh, well, you didn't really expect us to let this simply go without consequences."
I gave a laugh and I said, "I've beat you before, I'll beat you again."
Well, actually, your friend beat one of us.
I mean, he threw fruit at you. I whacked you on the head with the sword, not you.
You hear another one of the 5 say, "Oh, come on. There's only one of you. Are you confident?"
I'll say, absolutely. I'm the greatest duelist on the high seas.
Insight, do I feel his cockiness right now, actually? I just feel it through the air.
You feel radiating cockiness coming from somewhere.
I gotta run to that. Fuck.
I am gonna put my back, however, to a wall so that they cannot come behind me. Like I'm gonna step to
Alright.
the side and put my back to the wall, so they have to come only at my front.
Alright. So they slowly place themselves in a half circle around you. 5 of them.
Okay.
2 of them.
Is anyone on the street like here? Like,
Actually,
what are
right
other people
now,
on
you
the street?
can't. Well, actually, I'd say make a perception roll.
That's. Oh, wow. I'm gonna reroll that. I couldn't even see my dice. Okay, 14.
14. You don't see anyone on the street. However, from behind them and coming from a roof, you can see a thick black silk ribbon slowly unfolding toward the ground. They don't seem to be aware of it.
Okay. Noticing that, I'm gonna try and stall for time, and I'd be like, I would be like, I'm surprised that, here, what do I say? I'll say, so who is your master? Exactly.
You hear one say, "You mean you actually decided to challenge us without knowing?" You hear 2 of them let out a small chuckle. And a 4th one says, "I guess that answers the question if he's smart or stupid."
I'll say, well, tell me then why I should be so afraid.
You hear the one straight right in front of you says, "You are trying to oppose the hunter god, ruler of the night, harsh hand of the winter. And what god do you follow, whelp?"
I thought I made that pretty obvious in the square.
"A dragon god. Do you really think your god can measure up to the god of the hunt?"
I don't know. I wouldn't know much about the god of the hunt. Why don't you tell me?
Because you're paying attention to what is going on, you do see that you have managed to capture their attention, and you see this silk ribbon touch the ground, slowly snaking its way toward one of them, and at one point you see it separate in 5 strands and slowly snaking its way toward each of the other ones. They don't seem to have noticed. So the one talking to you says, "The god of the hunt, one of the eldest god of this world. He used to hunt small, insignificant creatures like you and your poultry god. He is older than yours, older than anything you know. And he is coming back to this world."
And how do you know this?
"Because he speaks to us. Unlike yours, I would assume."
Are you sure it's him speaking to you?
You hear the 5 of them laugh at this. And one of them says, "And are you sure yours is actually talking to you?"
I mean, I don't hear mine. I was sent on a mission. by mine.
Oh, so you have one of those gods. One of those who don't actually care about their followers. Who let them sacrifice themselves for their cause.
What has your god done for you?
You see one raise his hands, and you see magical energy gathering in his hands. If you want, you can make a religion check to see what sort of spell he is gathering energy for.
Alright, I'll make a religion check. So that's okay. It's not great. 12.
Well, no, it's actually not. Ouch.
No, I was more talking about my -1 to my religion checks.
No, it's
Paladin that sucks at religion.
well,
and insight.
Yeah.
Well, insight would have made you aware of what he was doing, but he's not even hiding it. He's more or less just taunting you with it, and I just want to give you the exact name of the spell and not the 2nd edition version of the spell. Here you go. He is gathering energy for an inflict wound spell.
Oh, fun. That does 3d10.
Yes.
That's a lot. Okay, but he does have to touch me.
Lyric.
Yes. So do you do anything about this? You see him. He is blatantly, openly gathering the energy, saying the short prayer.
I'll tell him. I see many clerics with that ability. How does that make you special?
Well, mine can kill you. And he goes to reach for you. Do you do anything about this?
I mean, if he's not touching me, then he can't do it, so I'll try and put my shield, like, in front of it. Because he has to actually touch me. Or actually...
Yeah.
Well, if he reaches for me, I'm gonna try and cut off his hand. Because that's more fun.
Then I would say roll for initiative.
Okay.
See which one of you actually reached the other first.
Alright.
Gosh.
That's a 10 for me.
That's a 10. You beat him. By 1.
Okay. Let's go.
So just before he reaches you, make your attack roll.
Alright.
Doesn't hit.
That's an unnatural 20.
You definitely hit him. Roll for damage.
That is 7 plus 5. Okay, 7 plus 5, so 12. 12 damage.
12. All right. Well, you hit him. You don't lob off his hand, but still, you manage to raise your sword fast enough to injure his hand, and you see his hand just recoil just a little bit, and then he tries to reach for you. You didn't cut his arm off, but you managed to.
His hand.
You said 12?
Yeah.
And he actually managed to keep concentration of what he was doing, because you both
Just cut
actually
down the
try.
middle.
And he tries to reach for you with a 14, which is not enough, I believe.
Which will not hit. No.
So he reaches toward you, and you put your shield in front of him. Just as he touches the shield, you feel the impulse of energy, but your shield absorbs everything, and it dissipates.
Bought that new shield, baby. Let's go. Show it up. Show it up big.
You see him just recoil his hand from the injury also, and Well, I guess you're gonna have to pay for this.
I'll give him a wink. I'll be like, real powerful.
And doesn't change what you just said. Well, you're gonna have to pay for this then. You see all of them preparing to attack, and then you hear a voice coming from straight above you. It is a woman's voice.
Okay.
You hear her say, "Oh no, come on, everyone. Can't you just be civil about this? He's alone, and there's 5 of you." As she says that, she jumps in front of you. It's a woman. She's dressed in black, has silver hair, which reaches down almost to her thighs, lightly braided. She has in her back a chakram the size of her body.
Okay.
And she is extremely agile. And it's the same, the clothes she is wearing is of the same black as the strands on the ground, which you notice have slowly encircled 1 foot for each of the clerics in front of you. And she looks at them, she raises her shoulders in a bit of a cocky way and says, "There's only 5 of you. You should get some reinforcement."
Oh, I like her. Audience is like respect.
And just as she says that, you see them all try to reach for her, and suddenly you see them all get yanked from behind. They all... Do they all fall?
I don't know.
Only one of them managed to keep his balance. The 4 other just go face down on the floor, gets dragged all the way to the other side of the street. The last one who stays up looks around him a little bit panicked, looks at her and she looks at him and says, "Oh, come on. You didn't expect this?" You see her vanish inside a piece of cloth that was on the ground, and then reappear behind him with her huge chakram behind him on his throat. And she says, "I'm gonna give you a choice. Leave with only your pride wounded and your arm, or die here." Slowly you see the 4 other being strung up, pulled upward in the street, dangling from 1 feet, trying to reach for the cloth, which seems to have a life of its own, keeping them from grabbing it. Did you do anything?
I'll say, I would do what the nice woman says. She seems like she means business. I'll say that to the cultist.
You see her smile at this and say, "See, even he says you should take up this offer. Now come on. Don't be shy." He looks at the chakram in front of him, which is the size of basically 2 rapier, strong in the shape of an O. Looks at you, who isn't injured. He looks at his injured hand and how in a bad position he is. He looks around him, see his fellow all strung up. He looks at you, audience, and says, "This is not gonna be over. This will never be over. Our God will hunt you until you and everyone you know is dead. We already have the scent of one of your friends."
I'll say, let him try. We'll defeat you as I've defeated you every time before this.
She gives him a little peck on the cheek, raises his chakram, and gives him a kick in the butt. And he leaves humiliated. A few moments after, the 4 others, which have now been raised to almost the height of a roof, are just let down. They all fall down with a big plop on the ground, all of them wearing armors, and they all leave. Which leaves
Alright.
you alone in front of this woman, wearing black, and you see the cloth slowly slithering back toward her.
Alright,
Toward
I'll
her
sheath
feet.
my sword and shield, and I'll actually take something that I learned from Tobiyashi, because the way she moved and the kind of cloth she wears kind of reminds me of him a little bit.
Actually, it does more than that. The way she moved reminds you exactly of how he moves.
And so, in knowing that, I'll copy something I see him do, and I'll give her a slight bow as he does, and I'll say, "Thank you, my lady. I am in your debt for the assistance you provided."
She bows back while placing her chakram back on her head. Well, actually, she doesn't place it on her back. She just raises it in the air, and you see a strand of cloth seizing it and placing it back on her back. And she bows down, always looking at you, and says, "Oh, it was a pleasure, I am sure, even for you. You seem to enjoy this."
I give a laugh and I said, "I will say I was quite impressed with your moves. You remind me of one of my friends, Tobiyashi. He is a monk. The way you fight reminded me of him. Although I must admit, far more skilled than anything I've ever seen him do."
Oh, maybe he just lacks a bit of training. So you say you have a friend who is a disciple of the cloth?
I have no idea what it's called. I just know from what I've observed I have fought with him and now fought with you as well, that your movements are quite similar.
Oh, don't worry. If he lives long enough, he'll learn how to do this. Well, it was a pleasure, and it always is a pleasure to mess with those little priests from the Hunter God. But I would heed their warning. They actually do hunt people. If you have friends, I would warn them also. They will most likely be on your path again.
I will do so. And what is your name, if I must ask?
If you must, I'm not obligating you to ask.
No, but I would like to know. My name is Audience, by the way.
Ah, well, this answers a few questions that I had about what people were talking about. It was a bit confusing saying that an audience was talking to someone called Audience. It actually clears up a few things. My name is Ali Ali.
Notes. How do you spell that?
Amiali, sorry. I'm gonna spell it in English, not in French. Amiale. Ami Ali. This is how she pronounced it, but this is how it's written.
A-M-I-A-L-E. And I'm gonna write, just because right now I know, Monk of the Cloth. Okay, got it.
Well, I'm gonna leave you to your own business, and maybe we'll meet again. See you.
It would be a pleasure. I'll give her another nod, and then I'll turn back to making it towards the end.
And she turns around, she leaves, and you can almost see a little bounce in her steps as she walks away. And we're gonna take the break here.
All right.
So, we're gonna be back in 10 minutes.
Oh boy.
See you all in 10 minutes. Bye.
See you.
Oh, and he's gone.
Hello. All right. Well, don't
Back.
worry. Here you go. I was about to say, don't worry, Tobiashi will be back in a few moments. So, when we left, audience had just met the woman of his dream and is slowly making his way back to the inn where Trevor, Tobiashi are presently. Actually, Tobiashi, did you just go try and find?
Oh no,
shop?
I stayed outside.
That's right. You just stayed behind.
Yeah, I
Valkyrie,
just sat against the wall.
Yes.
once you're done,
I would go back to the inn.
to the inn. So I would say that almost everyone gets back almost at the same time. Tobiashi, you see. Actually, audience would be the first one to arrive. So you see audience turning the corner with definitely a better mood than when he left.
Yeah, as you turn the corner, you see Toby kind of sitting against the wall with one leg over the other, a little more relaxed than you noticed him when he was in the big crowd. And has one hand behind his head, and he's eating a fruit.
With a big smile on my face, I'll walk up to Toby.
Oh, hello! That's a different demeanor than when you left.
I just met a very cute woman. We'll put it that way. She was a monk like you. I'll give him a nod.
Whoa.
So I'll tell him what happened. I'll be like, so I ran it. So 5 black cultists stopped me on the street, and they attacked me. So I had backed off into a corner, and I was getting ready to fight them when I noticed cloth coming down from the rooftops. And so I was like, hey, that's weird. So I was like, I'll stall. So I stalled, and then one of the cultists lunged at me, and I slashed his hand, and he retreated. And then they were all about to jump on me when a monk like you jumped over my head and landed in front of them. She was a beautiful woman, long silver hair. Her name was Ame Ali. Am I pronouncing that right?
Ami Ali.
Ami Ali. Okay. Ami Ali.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Ami Ali. And she jumped in front of me, and then single-handedly, in seconds, she defeated all the cultists.
That sounds familiar.
I will say, but I did learn that the cultists apparently are sent and are hunting us, and they will try and attack us. So we have to warn everyone that we should be on the lookout for them, because apparently they will basically attack us any chance they have.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I was just gonna wait out here for Val to come back since I was waiting for you. Just making sure I know where everybody's at.
Yeah, so we should make sure we don't go out alone anymore. Actually, I'll look kind of worried when you mention that Val's on your own. I'll be like, should we go look for her now that we know that the cultists are looking for us?
I think she'll make it back. I don't think she went that far out.
Okay, I'll kind of give a worried look. I'll be like, alright. But if she's not back in an hour, we're going to go look for her.
Most definitely. I still sit back eating my fruit and say, you want the last one?
I'll say, I'm alright, thank you. It's all yours. And I'm going to go inside the inn. I'll be like, let me know when she comes.
Alright, well, I'll come in with her, so.
So you go inside the inn, and Trevor, are you still there? Almost completely
blacked out.
Yes, partially blacked out and mostly unstressed.
Yeah, I would say he's unstressed at this point. Yeah, still reading his children's book, twirling his thing. Probably not casting any more spells in it, but just twirling it around. I am going to deduct another however much it is, because I'm going to say in that time he's probably bought him another pitcher, but he's still drinking, but he's calm.
All right, I'm gonna have to make you do a Constitution saving throw.
Right. He's not chugging it like he was before. He's just. Oh, shit.
Steady set.
10.
10. Well, I'm going to have you take a point of drunken exhaustion.
Alright.
So
That's fine.
you basically are a little tipsy.
Alright.
Not much more than that.
Okay.
And you hear someone enter the inn. Big stomping, but there's a bit of playfulness in the large stump that you hear. Almost skipping.
Yeah, Trevor will look up. Actually, a little confused looking. It's like, well, you look a little different from when you left.
I'm just happy. I'm like kind of nodding my head, smiling. Nothing can ruin my mood right now.
Yeah, I've calmed down as well, too. Yeah, I was kind of wanting to have a talk with everybody once they got back here, so try not to go too far.
I'm gonna go over to the innkeeper actually and order my room because I haven't done that yet.
All right. So, for a room, you get a choice between... In stay, you get a choice between poor and modest. The poor being very almost bare minimum, and modest having, a little bit more than the minimum, but still not luxurious.
I'll go poor. I don't really need anything.
All right. That's sort of stupid of me to close this without looking at the price.
Mike, you're muted.
Yeah, I figured it out. Yeah, what was the part? What was the price for a pitcher again? So I can deduct for another one.
The
I think
pitcher
it was
is
5 silver.
2 silver a pitcher.
Oh, 2 silver. Okay.
And for the room, it's 1 silver for a poor room. And you basically get a bed, a small chair to put whatever you want in, and maybe just a little small desk to put whatever you have with you.
Yeah, that's fine for audience.
All right. So, you get a poor room. And, well, the Dragonborn thanks you. This is very generous. Your room will be ready within the hour.
Thank you.
He nods, turns around, signals one of the maid, and tells her to go prepare a specific room. As he does that, Tobiyashi, in the street, you see Valtteri just coming around the corner and entering the street.
All right, this time I'll stand up for my laid-back position and.
She's not in as good as mood as audience.
Oh, I just go, hey Val.
Hi.
Well, everybody's inside, and Trevor wanted to have a talk with us, I guess, when we got there.
Okay. And just not really motion.
I'll open the door for her.
Oh, thanks. I'll just slowly walk in, kind of head down, and yeah. Kind of remember
Behind her.
where Trevor was sitting and sit down on that table.
Well, as you enter, you see Trevor is still there. You see audience. He is not trying to strangle Trevor. The inn is fairly empty. It is maybe around 3 o'clock, just a little before that. So
PM or AM?
PM, sorry.
As Val walks in, Trevor will see her, just raise his glass of wine, take a drink. He's still going.
I walk up to him like, how much did you already have?
Well, that first picture, this is my second one, and I'll look, I don't know, I'd say probably about 2 glasses in. I've slowed down, so, yeah.
Okay.
I've calmed myself now, so.
Just don't overdo it with the drinking.
Yeah, I think I'm good now. Did you find what you was looking for? So did you find what you was looking for?
Kinda, I guess, yeah. And I'll sit down and eat one of the cherries that I bought.
Cherries, huh? Well, what you're looking for, I guess it works.
And you can make cherry wine. You can make cherry-based alcohol with this.
Yep. Alright, so well, I don't know who all's where in the bar. I know Val sat with me.
Tobiyashi opened the door, so I assume he's just behind her.
Yeah, I'm walking in behind her.
Alright.
So it's 3:00. It's still a little bit early for dinner, but
Yeah. Well, I'll call audience over. Say, hey, come have a seat with us. Let's have a talk here.
I'll just sit
I'll
down.
kind of shrug. I'll shrug. I'll come over.
And I'll just for now I'm just going to address the audience directly or whatever. I'm just going to say, look, big man, I know I came across rather harsh, earlier, but I spent the past several years at a wizard school, with people that were just as smart as me or smarter. That might seem a little arrogant, but at the same time, I've seen you kind of be arrogant in your battles. I mean, you're bragging about beating the Pirate King, you seem to be good at beating your odds and stuff like that. Toby over there, he's pretty stealthy and observant. Valtteri, she can heal us, and actually is quite the artist there, which can help in mapping out areas. We each have our strengths that we need to play into. Even our letter, if you reread it, first thing that we were called because of our skills. I think that should warrant a little arrogance in itself. I'll admit, I got the magic and bolster us. I know you think of them as simple party tricks, but I got much more that you've seen so far. So, but I'll admit my arrogance, stems from my surroundings at the school. But I'd say my recent travels, getting split up, I've gotten some new perspective, and hopefully I can find someone or something to kind of keep me grounded and tone that arrogance down a little bit, because I know we butted heads quite hard. So, as let's count this as a fresh start with a toast. What do you say?
I'll accept. I'll kind
right.
of give him a nod. I'll give him a nod.
All right. He'll pour everybody, including Valtteri, again, a glass of wine. Push him out to everybody. He'll stand up, and I said, I've been working on this. I've got the perfect toast that includes all of you. And he'll just stand up and say, here's to lying, cheating, stealing, and drinking. Just kind of have a look at the audience to see how he reacts to that at first.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know which one applies to me. So I'm just
He'll look to Toby and say,
I raised my drink.
Say, for if you lie, may you lie low and inconspicuous. And he'll turn to the audience, say, and if you cheat, may you cheat death. They'll hold it up and say, and for if I steal, he'll turn to Valtteri, take a deep bow, and say, may I steal a maiden's heart. And then for if you drink, may you drink with me.
all right, take a drink.
I'll drink it.
I'm lightly confused what he means with that, but I also lightly sniff on the wine and take a sip. Not all of it, but a sip.
just dip the tip of your tongue in.
Yes.
And he's like, come on, you gotta do better than that.
Peer pressure. Drink.
I've never drunk before.
It's like, come on, it's easy, and he'll pour him another one and down it. So I say it's that easy.
Can you make another constitution check for
Yep,
me?
I will do it. Oh, that's good. 15 plus 3, so 18.
all right. You don't add another drunken exhaustion point to this.
Alright.
I'll just take a deep breath and
What in the world?
take the drink down.
Once I hold your nose, it helps.
Audience will start
Alright.
clapping. Audience will start clapping like everyone does after they take it. Like, yeah.
I finished my whole drink and I'm going to say thank you for the toast. What time of day is it?
About 3 o'clock. Still early. There are not a lot of stores left still open, but it's a bit early. But you don't have to fill the day with everything. You could just all go back to your room. You don't have
After
to fill.
that, I'll ask audience, what puts you in such a chipper mood all of a sudden?
All right. I'll say on a more serious note, and I'm going to repeat. I am going to repeat because I'm going to want to also warn them. I'm going to repeat the story I learned about the cultists, and then I'm also going to tell them that they're hunting us. But then I'm also going to mention the monk lady. She came down, and the smile will kind of come back on my face as I mention her.
When I hear cultists, I'm quickly looking to him. And, are you hurt or anything?
No, I'm okay. I didn't. I didn't really get into it that much with them. I slashed one. They were all about to attack me, and then that's when the monk lady came in.
Yeah, Trevor will speak up,
Took 'em all
say,
out.
okay, from now on, if anybody leaves this bar, this inn, we need to do it as a group, everyone together, or nobody goes. Does that sound fair? He looks at audience, for approval for his strategy here.
Oh, I'll
Seems like
say at least we should travel in pairs.
Yeah, fair enough. But
Fair.
yeah, I would say we should also, rest here for tonight since we've already got our rooms and probably get out of the city in the morning. Start heading towards our destination.
I'll turn to him. Oh, do you know where that is? I have yet to figure it out.
I got an idea. Our chauffeur that escorted us here gave me a general idea, so I can go off of that and maybe gather a little more information along the way. I would think.
Oh, also hold on. Now that I'm in a better mood and kind of making it with Trevor, I'm gonna actually reach into my bag and I'm gonna pull out the 2 unknown potions I still have on me. I'm gonna I'm gonna slide them over the table towards him, and I'm gonna be like, I don't know if you know. The magic shop said that you could figure out these with magic. I don't know if you know that type of magic, but these are some potions that I found on the pirate captain a while back, and I've yet to have them identified. I was wondering if you could take a look at them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's like, this is the basics of basic, and he'll pull out his pearl, and it's going to take me a little while. I'm going to do it ritually, but I could tell you in probably about a half hour what both of them are. But
All right, thank you.
If you want me to just keep them, I'll do it before I sleep tonight, and I can tell you in the morning.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I get up off my chair and I'm going to look at the group kind of in front of me, and I say, before I go to my quarters for the rest of the evening, I'm going to let you know that I need to pick up some provisions before we leave in the morning. So I would meet you guys as early as you can in the front area right here. Well, at the seat.
Okay.
Okay.
I bow and I bow and then I go up to my quarters and sleep, or
Okay.
we'll sleep, hang out.
Yeah,
chill.
just chill out till sleep time, yeah.
See,
All right.
study about religions.
Yeah. Trevor will put the potions in his little messenger bag there to identify when he goes to rest. But he's gonna hang out here for a little while. This calmness between him and the audience is kind of interesting. So he wants to see how long this can last here.
I'm also like looking between the both of them, just remembering earlier the day when they were both like almost killing each other. Now they're
Since we're actually civil at the moment, at least you want to seal it with a handshake. I wouldn't be thinking I'd be doing this an hour ago, but hey.
I'll just kind of give. I'm very much off in my own world. I'm just like I'm dreaming about a lady in silver hair.
I'll
Catch him. I'll reach out my hand.
I'll reach out my hand. Cloud 9.
I'll reach out my hand and I'll give it a good firm shake. I give good
It's like touching the silk in his mind. He's like,
not trying to crush my hand or anything there. Okay.
No, just a firm shake.
All right. Okay, I'll take it.
Not hard.
It's like, see, I can smooth over and I'm just looking at Valtteri. See, I can smooth over shit just as quick as I can start it.
yeah.
I'm actually a little surprised myself.
Yeah.
So, and then at that point, he'll just kind of lean back and just keep watching her after that confused look, just to see how she's. If anything changes there, just watch her while he just sits on his line.
Audience is gonna go order a meal because I haven't eaten.
Yeah, I still haven't eaten. Yeah.
Maybe you should think about buying a brunch. At that time, it's sort of half a dinner and half a supper.
I'm gonna order a big meal. It's gonna be large.
While the audience is gone, I'll lightly look at Trevor confused and what do you mean with maiden?
It's just another term for a woman, respectable woman.
And why were you looking at me when you were saying that you would steal a woman's heart?
He'll grab the pitcher and pour another drink here. So, well, we kind of had, I feel, a pretty good connection in our conversations there. We were both orphans and, we both, going through a little shit. So I was curious on maybe being open to seeing if it might develop into maybe a little more than friends.
I mean, and she's not saying that right now. It's going
just
through her head
yeah.
that there is still someone where, but she knows that the thing with her back at her home probably won't happen because she will be now gone for a long time probably, and she isn't even sure if she has feelings for her, so...
Yeah, Trevor doesn't know about any of all this, so he's just staying silent and just letting her absorb it and watching for her reactions.
I mean...
I'm not even looking at Discord.
I mean...
sorry.
We...
say that out loud.
We don't know each of us that much now, but maybe over the time.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking. Just to be open to learn more about each other and see where it goes. That's all I'm asking for now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll think I'll go to my room now. And please don't kill each other while I'm gone.
I think we're good for now. And even though she's not drinking it, he'll just clink her glass one more time before she walks away and just take a drink. So, that's all I was asking.
All right.
And I'll
And-
be heading to my room then.
Yep. And at that point, he'll, he still had his children's book out, but, he wasn't reading it. But he'll close it up, put it up, take out his journal, and just write in it for a little while before he heads up to his room.
So we just keep audience alone downstairs.
I think he walked off, didn't he? Or was
No,
you still
he's
sitting there
ordering.
for all that? Oh yeah, he
Oh,
went to the bar. But yeah, I'm just writing in my journal. I didn't leave the table. I just closed my book, put it up, and I'm writing in my journal. So I'm
audience,
still down
are
there.
you- audience, are you choosing a big meal for yourself or for the group?
For myself.
For yourself.
I'm
So-
hungry.
So is it a meal of high quality or large quantity?
No, just just quantity.
just quantity.
Quantity over quality.
All right. Well, there is always the option of a very large bowl of soup, or you can go with something less, a little bit more hearty, which has a little bit of meat, a little bit of cheese.
Can I get like a very large bowl of stew and literally like a full loaf of bread with it?
Sure,
Audience's heart is full, but his stomach is empty.
sure. Yeah, no problem. That would go for 2.5 silver.
2.5 silver. All
No,
right.
sorry, 2 silver and 5 copper.
Silver, 5 copper. Okay.
We're still on that,
Yeah,
right?
which is 2.5 silver. Sorry.
Keep forgetting.
So yeah, large bowl of stew with a lot of bread.
All right. And I'm gonna bring it back to the table and kind of dig in, like just go for it, full gusto.
All right.
Nice.
All right. So Tobiashi, you went back to your room.
Yes.
I hope you won't mind me saying this out loud. I am going to ask you if you actually want to use one use, or if you just want to know if it would be a waste.
Yeah, I would just want to know if there's if I know if there's something about it in there.
Well, like I said, the way this object work is that if you want to know something, you can go inside and look because they're your notes. So you know exactly what there are in there, what you wrote in there. So if you want to know something, it does the same thing as a critical success on whatever subject you tell me. If I tell you that it is too broad, or there is no chance that you might have something, there won't be any use of it.
Okay, then. Yeah, okay, then I'll save it till I have more information.
All right. So, and it's only one question per use.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
So you go back into your room. Sit
About
on.
it, but then go to sleep.
No, you just sit on your desk and you are spending the rest of the evening pondering about dragons and cultists.
Yep.
Well, in this case, would be dragons and wolves. All right. So Tobiyashi just leaves and he goes back to his room and didn't give any indication that he would be back later on.
Yeah. Just said I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And he actually does exactly that. Trevor, you're muted.
Not bad. Yeah, I was gonna say as Toby's leaving, which I'm gonna tell everybody as they leave too. Do not leave the inn without letting somebody else know that you're leaving, so they can go with you. I will repeat that to everybody as they leave. Yeah.
And
Toby as he walks away, Valtteri as she went to her room, and I'm sure audience heard me.
You're starting to hear Trevor having a slight bit of trouble pronouncing correctly. He does have to repeat one or two words from time to time.
All right, but yeah, after passing that on to Valtteri and Toby, he'll just say, yeah, he's going to say, you good for the night, big man?
I'm gonna kind of look up for my stew with my mouth full and just kind of give it a thumbs up, like spoon still in my mouth, like.
And you see this big grin curling on his lips.
All right, well, I'm going to go chill in my room for a little while. I'll let you know what those potions are in the morning, and he'll close his journal and head up to his room for the night and go identify him when he gets up there, which takes 20 minutes for the two of them.
Let's say 25 minutes, just time to reset and renew again.
Yeah, write down what they are for reference and stuff. So.
All right, so one potion is a potion of poison. And the other one is a potion of necrotic resistance.
Well, there's that poison that Toby was looking for from a fruit.
God,
Good
the
thing
only
good thing
song.
audience didn't know about that earlier. Sorry.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, what's that over there, Trevor? Yeah.
God damn it, the only song I have in my head right now is Love is in the Air.
Oh, you mean you don't have The Lion Sleeps Tonight in your head?
Oh my god.
Well,
Well,
at least I know unless something goes terribly wrong, at least I got an idea of the direction this will be going.
That song would play if it would actually happen something. Right now it's just...
Yeah.
Feel the love tonight in the Lion King.
Right now it's just the tension in the air.
Alright.
Yep.
That's great.
Okay, but yeah, and he'll just chill.
Like
So
everyone is slowly getting someone except Toby. Toby will be alone forever.
Yeah.
He'll find him somebody. The audience will buy him one of them streetwalkers before we leave in the morning or something.
Absolutely.
I'm that lonely, I'll become the drunken master. It's fine.
But yeah,
Alright.
Trevor will just after that. Trevor will just do a quick little read just to keep up with his ritual from the children's book, and then go to sleep.
Words like
Alright, so inside
Probably
the
have an early night because he's probably pretty fucking trashed at this point. So
Yeah.
so,
starting off as an angry drunk and ended on a pretty happy one.
and angry drunk to happy drunk. Well,
Yep.
it's the
Just
best
the
kind
end
of
of it.
drunk.
Ended it on a good note.
So, Valtteri, you are alone with audience and a few other people.
I know
I was the
going up to her
second
room.
one who left.
She left.
Yeah,
I'm the
she
only
left.
one
She
down
left me an audience.
Okay, well,
although,
then in that case,
surprisingly-
when you get up, when you go up the stairs, you realize that you never paid for a room.
Oh, yep.
I did.
Oh, yeah. Actually, she did. Yeah, I remember.
I was the
Trevor did.
second one
Yeah, it
who
was
paid.
in the last. It was the last session.
the last
yeah,
session. Yeah,
right
it was
after
the
I
last
did.
session.
All right, sorry, I was sure that one of you hadn't paid for his room.
Nope, just
No,
on.
I paid
That
for.
was it was me.
I paid a
hadn't
cheap.
paid, but
I paid a cheap room because I'm not a rich person,
Sorry.
and I also had soup because I wanted something with vegetables.
She got her meal and room like right after
Yeah.
Trevor's
All right.
got his wine in the room and
All right.
meal.
No problem. Sorry, I thought
No
that
problem.
it was someone else that hadn't paid. So, all right. So, audience, you're the only one left. Keep
Yep.
eating
I'm
your happy meal.
I'm gonna finish up my dinner. I'm gonna head up. It's been probably about an hour at this point. So
Yeah. So it's starting to be near 5 o'clock. So you're starting to see other people come in. A little bit more variety. Halfling. You see a dwarf. 2 humans. It's not gonna be.
Okay.
It's not gonna be a.
do any of my worshippers come in, or are they?
You told them to wait for you in the square next morning.
I did. That is true. So none of them would come in. All right. I'm probably just gonna kind of hang around, maybe walk around a bit, have a few friendly conversations, but not really do too much.
All right. Is there
Maybe
anyone?
ask a few if they've seen. Actually, you know what's something I would do? I would walk around and ask if anyone's seen a monk by the name of
He's
I would
gonna
ask
get it
if
one
I
day.
haven't seen. Maybe Amiali.
Yeah, that's good.
And ask around with silver hair, with long silver hair. I'll kind of describe her. I'll be like, "Hey, has anyone seen this person?"
Hmm. Well, actually, there are 2 person who says that they have seen someone. One of them is a shopkeeper who just, when you describe her, is a human shopkeeper. Oh, yes, there was someone who came in today and she bought a few fruits, so a little bit of cheese, and she just left, paid well, very nice.
I'll say, "Do you know what kind of fruit?"
Oh, she just bought a variety of this continent. So there was a few mistle fruit, the basic apples. She did ask for an orange. She said she had been on the sea for a while.
Audience makes a mental note. Orange. She likes oranges.
Yeah, it's the only use for an orange. And
Just go buy like 12 oranges tomorrow.
oh, well.
Maybe she just feels that her boobs are too small, so she uses them as like a padding.
Whoa.
Yeah,
not really
and
my
it
dreams.
is also a very good way to prevent some illness very common
Yeah.
with sea travel.
Derby.
Exactly.
Great.
But other than that, yeah, no, she just took a little sample basket of this and she left.
Right?
The second person that you ask for is actually someone working in the residential district, preparing the solstice of light, and it is a maybe midlife dwarf who looks at you and says, "Oh yes, I remember someone like this coming by to where it was. She just scampered off right out of town. I remember hearing her say to someone else that she was heading a bit north. Had someone, I believe, she was supposed to meet, or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. She did say she was going to go up north. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got."
Thank you.
That's all the information that you get from the crowd.
All right. Keep that in mind. Add that to my stalker journal. No.
All right.
Right. After
So-
that, after I probably have a few conversations, walk around, I'll go up to my room, do my workout, push-ups, sit-ups, arm work, leg work, and then I'll probably go to bed.
All right.
Dream about a lady with silver hair. Ugh.
All right. So everyone goes to sleep. Valtteri?
Yeah.
Tobiyashi?
Yep.
All right, and Trevor also.
Yep.
So you have a night which is slightly troubled by a dream. It is the same dream that you had before, all of you. You are in a large room surrounded with people. It is the same room as the first time you had that dream, except you recognize in the crowd Tesuo, the Naftan Blade Master. And because you've all had a description, you also noticed Amiali in the crowd.
We know I did.
My girl's there.
Well, I don't think any of the others recognize her yet, but
Well, the description is enough to notice her, as she is the only one with a silver head of hair and a huge chakram on her back. She is all dressed in black, and Tobiyashi actually notices she also has wrappings on her hands, confirming that she is a monk, most likely of the same monastery tradition as you are trying to be. Although she looks a lot more confident than you are. So the dream keeps on going, and again you hear this muffled voice speaking in front of you. And just like before, he raises his arms, and as he lowers his arms, the door behind him opens, and you are all allowed inside the huge vault. Just like the first time you enter the vault, and you see all of those treasure, but to your eyes, they all look like trinkets. Almost trash. But you know there is one inside of that vault that is for you. One that is specifically for you. And you start looking for it, just like the first time. Crossing other members of the crowd, you recognize one another. You also lose each one of you inside the crowd. And you are all again led to the same object, which you find exactly at the same place it was in the previous dream. And just as you are about to reach for it, you all wake up. It is morning.
I can remove my exhaustion.
Yes. And because it is from drunkenness, even if you had more than one, you can remove them. However, you do have a small headache.
Headache, yep. Yeah, big brain headache.
And so you all wake up from this dream.
I will not expend any of my hit die during this long rest, but I will regain the one I was missing, so back to having both my 2 hit die.
Very well.
Yep.
I'll go downstairs to get breakfast.
All right.
I'd already be out there.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say who wakes up first. I was gonna say Trevor kind of knocked on the doors to see if anybody was still asleep and make sure nobody wandered off.
Yeah,
I usually
I'd say
wake up
Trevor-
very early, so
As drunk as Trevor was, I imagine he'd probably be the last to wake up. Actually, first.
Well, the only one
Yeah,
I've
I
never
don't-
asked
okay.
is Valtteri. How early do you wake up, usually?
Depending if where my room is, if the sun in the morning would shine in early because my character kind of wakes up when the sun
Alright.
is.
So basically very close to sunrise. So, yeah, that means you would easily find yourself with audience and Tobiyashi on the first floor of the inn. Oh,
Yep.
already?
25 minutes.
Expecting that
Yeah.
sooner.
On the first floor of the inn, and you see audience already thinking about breakfast. Tobiyashi daydreaming.
Yeah, thinking.
All right. His head still lingering inside his dream. And Valtteri, you said, what do you want to do?
You know what? I first, because I see the both of them, quickly think where it might be Trevor's room. Knock on the door.
Make a perception roll.
So it could be his room or somebody stranger's
Yeah,
room.
this is what I'm making you roll for.
Yes.
You'll eventually find it.
17.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad. I was hoping for one. So, you actually find him on the first try. You knock on the door, and Trevor, you have just woken up. Your head is slightly hurting, and you hear dum dum dum, which actually
No,
is probably just. But for you, it's dum dum dum.
I was saying like I was lightly knocking on the door.
Yeah. Say what?
It's me. I was asking because the other two are also awake. If you want to come down and have some breakfast with us.
Sure. And yeah, just open the door. He didn't even undress. He just passed out in his clothes. His stricken hair
So
is
you
probably
see it-
standing up and you know,
Yeah, so you see
bedhead.
Trevor with wrinkled clothes and a little lingering smell of wine on his breath,
Yeah, and he's just holding his temple there. Like, okay.
mixed
Let's
with the
go.
very interesting morning breath smell.
Don't you want to change clothes or?
Don't really have any. This is all I've really got.
Can I try fixing his hair because it's
Sure.
Yeah, it's just parted in the middle. It should be easy enough to flatten down. Yeah.
You try and style his hair to the way it was the day before. Let's go with a performance roll. Let's see how good this is.
Right, let me quickly check what my performance is. Well, it's a 0, so. $14.
14. Well, at least it's not worse than it was. Yeah, you do manage to flatten his hair, and by pulling a little bit on it, it's sort of becomes straight on each side. You know, you look at it and says, "Well, it still looks like you just woke up," but
A little bit better.
yeah, you can actually see the resemblance from yesterday.
Right. Lead the way.
And so, Trevor, you get Valtteri playing in your hair for 5 minutes and a half.
He doesn't fight it. Has a little smile on his face while it's happening. Despite his headache, he'll take what he can get.
All right.
It's a start.
God.
Oh, and I stuff a cherry in his mouth so the smell of alcohol will
Oh.
go away.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, here we go.
I
We're
don't
getting
like.
sensual.
Toby
I
walks
s-
back. No, I'm just saying.
I don't like the smell of alcohol. No thanks.
let the
Well.
cherry.
He'll just start chewing on it and he'll say, sorry, it's just rough day. Started out bad. ended good, so that's not going to be a regular thing. Don't worry.
So Trevor, if you'd like, you can always take a mental note of this and try and make Cointreau next time. The alcohol. It's cherry base, I believe.
Okay.
It's an actual alcohol. It's not an invented one.
Cherry schnapps.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so you all go down, and I'll take a meal, I guess.
Yep. Yep. And as we're sitting there eating, he'll pull out the potions and hand them back to the audience and say, "That one is a potion of poison. As sneaky as that one is," he'll point to Toby, and say, "I noticed him using swords and stuff. It'd be good for him for sneaking and stabbing and poison things. The other one, it's about anybody would be able to use. It's a potion of necrotic resistance, so you can figure out what you want to do with that one."
Actually, I said it was a potion of poisoning, not a poison. There's a small
potion
difference.
of poisoning. Okay, well, I'll relay it then.
I'm
Potion of
looking-
poisoning.
The difference being that a potion of poisoning, when you make someone drink it, I believe there is a saving throw involved, and then he gets 3d6 points of damage, and
Do they get
gets-
the poison effect?
and they get the poison effect. And as long as they're poisoned, I think it's every turn, they take 3d6 points of damage. If they succeed their saving throw, you remove 1d6 from this, and when the damage comes to 0, the poison ends.
And as he's telling that to the audience, he's like, "It's a good thing you had me identify these after the fact, you know."
Well, it's
Considering
like
how we started.
because apparently the concoction looks, smells, and tastes like a potion of healing.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
So,
So
You never
don't
said
put it
you
in your
opened and
bag.
drink
Don't
it.
put it. Don't put it in your bag with the other potions of healing, Tobiyashi.
Okay, I'll make
The
sure not
looks-
to.
the
tie a
looks
tie a
same.
string around it or something.
It's gonna be Russian roulette if you do.
Oh yeah, because I have the bag that has the potions around my thing, and then I'll put it in my bag.
Yeah, keep that one separate for sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
put
Tie a string around it for a reminder. Bad.
necrotic resistance. Okay. All right, I'll pass the potion of poison to Toby, and I'll keep the potion of necrotic resistance.
Thank you.
So now, Tobiyashi, you have a very good poison to poison someone while you're making a toast.
I've been waiting.
Yeah. Trevor's been
Look-
paranoid of Toby poisoning him all this time, and now he's
Now
actually
he
got
actually
the
has
beans
the
too.
beans.
Now he has it.
Yep.
I'm looking
Well,
at.
I'm glad I smoothed things over. Now, if it stays that way, that'll be up to him. Yeah.
I'm looking at Toby and the audience. I'm like, where did you got those potions?
Oh, I'll say off the undead captain that I fought and Toby actually eventually killed.
Yeah, it was a whole ordeal. We could tell you later.
I'm just sitting here eating now. If you want to go through it, you don't have to RP it all out. You can-
So basically, on a ride over here, in instead of coming here smoothly like we thought it was gonna go, another ship came by and attacked us. Audience, want to finish?
Oh, so it was an undead ship, and the pirate captain came on board, and I taunted him to duel me by saying I was like the best duelist, and I told him I'd heard that he was the best duelist on the high seas, and so we fought, and I defeated him. But then in my mercy, I didn't kill him. I let him live. I cut off his hands, and he took us back to our ship. But then as we took him back there, he told the ship to fire on our ship, and then Tobiyashi killed him as he did that. But the ship did fire, and so we actually all moved all of our stuff onto the undead ship and then gave it to the captain.
Impressive. I'm genuinely impressed.
Also, I got this. I take out the piece of cloth that the cleric, forgot her name. Jeez, only name I didn't write down. Um,
Well, we
Uh,
got the YouTube. You can go back and find out.
yeah, I could go back. Yeah.
Or you can
I
make
pull
an
out the-
intelligence roll, and if
Oh,
you
yeah, why not?
succeed, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, save you a little time there.
11.
Yeah, sure. It hasn't been very long, and her name was Cantal.
The cleric woman Cantel on the boat gave this to me. It's for passage on the sea. I still have yet to figure out what this it was a sea temple she was talking about.
It is the emblem of her god. The clock
So
that
one
she
other
gave you.
The boat was alive. That's it.
The boat was alive.
It had a
Is it like a
Biological.
magical aura or?
yeah, it had a stone in the middle of it, and it had ruins that was powering the boat. I still don't know. I haven't studied it long enough to figure out what it was.
Do I have to roll something to understand what he means?
Yeah, Trevor would be interested in trying to understand that a little better too. There.
Well,
It sounds magical, so yeah.
Would it be Arcana or religion or?
Oh, okay. To understand the story about the boat.
If I
Well,
understand what
for Trevor,
it
definitely
means.
Arcana. I would say it will give you a different kind of information, but I would allow you to make either a religion or Arcana check, Valtteri. Like I said, each one is not going to give you the same information.
I'll take religion. I want to see what will
I
come
rolled
out of
Arcana. I
it.
got a 22 total.
All right. Well, from what you know, he is most likely describing one of the largest type of construct you can find, which is actually a construct the size of a boat with a gem at the center and runes all around, all throughout the boat to act pretty much as a nervous system would. So it is a sort of construct. Construct this size usually are not sentient, but they can be so complex that they feel like they are sentient. There is an element of doubt because of the crystal. Crystal can sometimes have something in it. So in that case, if there is something in it, the boat would most likely be more like an exoskeleton for whatever is inside the gem.
Okay. All right. I'll let Valtteri do her roll first before Trevor says anything.
Valtteri, what did you roll?
I rolled a 5. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, boats go
I have
on the ocean and they float and they usually don't have crystals inside.
Yeah.
And runes, it's good decoration, but yeah, no, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trevor just mentioned. Yeah, I've read about something similar to that. I know Valtteri. I know we've seen one coming in, but have you guys seen the constructs walking around the city? The big mechanical type creatures.
I'll give a nod.
Yeah.
I would know.
So it's actually
Audience,
similar
you
to that.
Probably saw a lot of them in your travels.
Yeah. That boat was actually similar to that with, the same design. It's not, of course, the same principle, able to walk around, but it does have the same type of consciousness, I guess you could say, and, that they're not sentient like like your typical constructs, but it is sort of a living being, so you guys were pretty close there on that. You were,
They almost
had the right idea. Yeah, I could imagine it could probably be very dangerous.
I'm gonna go on and say we could call the captain anytime we need him for a ride. I'm pretty sure that's what they told us before they left. They were gonna purge the ship of anything bad with it and bring it back to working order.
Yeah. But I was going to say, within a big city like this, these cultists, there's probably a lot of them around. If there's anything we need to do in this city, I suggest we do it and get out as quick as we can. So maybe not to encounter any more. Because
Okay.
if you were saying they was 5-on-1 against you, big man, who knows how many we might encounter next time and might not have the help you had last time.
I mean, we could, if we get out of here, do the town hopping they told us about.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend, at least stopping in the smaller towns along the way until we run out of them before we on our way to the gathering.
Do you know what direction we have to head?
I know she kind of told me the general direction. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I'll say yes.
From where you are, it would be northeast, closer to the east, east northeast.
Yeah, I'll relay that east northeast, and I think she told me it would take about a week and a half. I think to walk there, or
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll mention that the person I met last night, I heard that she actually might have left north. So maybe we'll run into her again.
Yeah, if she's the one that puts you in the good mood, I certainly hope so. I want to keep you that way if possible.
As they mention her again, I think I had a dream last night, and I think she was in there.
Oh yeah,
What you were describing of how she looked.
Now that you mentioned it, yeah, I wasn't sure because I was kind of barely listening when he was describing her because I was shit faced. But yeah, now that you mentioned that, yeah, I guess it probably was her.
I'll kind of think back on my own dream and I'll be like, yeah, you know what? I think I saw her.
Oh, so you two also had a dream again?
Yeah. It was this
I had a dream too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I actually saw this woman that you guys speak of.
Cool. Yeah. Hey. Welcome to the party.
I'm actually also going to mention to Tobiyashi, I'm going to be like, I wonder if it has any connection to the woman Graves mentioned before. Because I feel like Graves mentioned a woman. Possibly. I don't remember exactly.
Not Grave. Grim.
Grim. That's everything.
Yeah, I think you did that last time too. Yeah.
Yes,
oh my god.
Campaign bleed there. Yeah.
Grim.
You know, it actually might be.
And
he'll say, Grim. I guess somebody on the ship with you guys?
Friendly kobold mage we met.
Cool.
You might actually meet him if you come on the ship this time.
That's still to be discussed.
Did you also saw the one who helped us back then with the kobolds in your dream?
Oh, I did. Yes.
I wonder why those two appeared in our dreams. Maybe they also have to go there.
Maybe they have the coins as well.
Yeah.
Yes, might be.
Well, if we catch up to her, might ask.
Well,
Tobiyashi,
I'm ready to head off.
There's one thing that you can actually say with this, and you don't have to say it in front of everyone, but with what you saw in your dream and your knowledge of everything you can actually learn to do with the cloth, you could expect that she is a fairly high-level monk, which means unless you start running throughout the day, there's no way you're gonna catch up with her.
Well, don't
Yeah.
kill audiences, Buzz. You know.
Yeah, I would be like, I just look over.
Maybe-
I look over. I'll be like, yeah, I think we can catch up with her.
Maybe she extra walks slowly this time.
Maybe we should just chill it now. You know.
I was just like, all right, let's go. Let's hit the road.
Oh, I was like, okay, let's go to the places I need to real quick, and then well, I guess. Wait, is everyone done eating?
Yeah, I'd say by this time. Yeah. I was
And
gonna say,
I'm also,
So-
audience though is also conflicted right now because I'm also like, I told my worshippers that I would be there the next morning.
Yep.
Yeah, I was about
Hopefully
to
we
say,
passed by
did you
them.
want to preach today?
Yeah,
Well, I have to
supposed-
go by that way. I have to get. I want to get more fruit.
Say, now,
I
how
don't-
about this? Let's all go together.
Yeah,
So
I'll say,
in case there's another incident like yesterday.
before we go
Oh, yeah,
that,
that's what
I'll say before we go that way, can we go pick up my writ from the guardhouse? It's down. I'm not gonna actually preach because I don't want to draw unnecessary attention after yesterday, but I do want to at least tell them that I'm leaving what's going on and give them some final words to carry on the message.
So, what kind of meal did you all order? Something very hearty,
I just-
something very
Something
minimal?
small.
Small?
Yeah.
Let's say small for Trevor too.
Small,
since-
Valtteri? Small?
Yeah.
Audience?
Hardy.
Hardy?
Definitely
He's
So
a big guy,
for-
so yeah, Trevor's
All
still a
the
little
work.
queasy from yesterday, so you know.
For everyone except audience, it's going to be 6 copper. And for audience, we're gonna go with 3 silver. You took something very big.
Audience eats a lot.
Like a
I'll
Did you
turkey.
say 5 copper or 6? I couldn't remember.
6.
Six.
Okay.
All right, so you
Man, Trevor drank a lot of wine. Holy shit.
yeah. So you all go out the door in a group. It is very easy in a group to move about, especially in the early morning. It's probably around 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Maybe not
And,
even.
and once we step outside, I'll send Tao in the air. I won't connect through his eyes, but I'll say, if you see any of those cultist symbols, let me know.
Right,
And just have him just kind of circle around us as we're walking around.
right. Make a perception roll for Tao.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good tonight. 18 plus 3, so 21.
All right. Very good. So he goes up. And what does he do if he finds something?
I'll just tell him just to fly down and land in front of us if he sees one.
Okay.
Because I don't know if he can actually communicate directly to me like that, you know. And I don't think he can actually speak, but he might be able to give me a ping or something if he sees one. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you.
All right. So you make your way to the guardhouse where you can get the papers that you made the day before, and it is finished. He however, asks you for 1 silver.
I'm not gonna at this point. I'm just gonna give him the silver.
You are or you're not?
I am.
All right.
There's no.
Yeah, they got big money, man. They're the
I
rich
am
ones.
not.
He takes the silver and gives you everything you need. So he says, very well. So, yes, if you start preaching, just go find the nearest guard, show him these papers, and we will make sure that you can preach in peace. However, we also do ask you to be considerate of other deities that might actually have priests in the same square. No fighting. You can try and scream each other out, but no punching. Or slashing, or piercing, or bludgeoning.
I'll just kind of nod and not mention the fact that I can breathe electricity.
Trevor will say, well, what about roasting? Just kind of jokingly, just...
The guard looks at you a little bit annoyed, doesn't answer.
Fair enough.
And, well, actually, when he looks at you a little bit annoyed, you hear behind you a door open. You hear a small footstep coming toward you.
Just take a quick glance behind him.
You see a female gnome.
Okay,
She looks at you and says, if you want the full rules of this, I can give them to you. And she takes out a book. Half a feet thick.
I'll just cut her off. I'm like, I'm not preaching at all. It was just a joke. I don't need the rules.
She looks at you, slightly disappointed.
He might, though. And I'll point to the audience.
She turns toward you, audience, and say, if you want to have the full set of rules, here it is. It is a copy of the book. I am going to have to ask you for 2 silver for it. I have to buy another one.
Wait.
It is a book half a feet thick. Handed to you by a gnome.
I grab it.
How is she
Do you want it?
Probably weighs as much as she does.
I'm not gonna stop you. I'm not gonna stop you from grabbing it.
Actually, I'll pay her to. I'll pay it to her, and
Alright.
I'll take the book.
So she hands you the integral rule book for
How much was it
preaching.
again?
2 silver.
Okay.
It is the complete rule with every single exception and precision for each rule and exception of the rules for preaching worship inside the city.
I mean, hey, it could come handy for making campfires or something.
No,
I'll grab it.
Kobayashi's gonna become my lawyer.
Yeah, no, I grab it and I say it's always good to know the rules. And I'll
Do you open it or you just pocket it?
No, I'm just gonna put it in my bag.
Kill the
Alright.
audience over there.
How much? Okay, yeah. Well, I'll figure that out after.
It is a book half a feet thick. It weighs. So you put it in your backpack and for some reason it feels like someone just put a large rock in it.
Alright.
Watching Toby handle that, it's like, he's like, Jesus, that thing is bigger than my freaking spell book.
You feel you could probably use this to stop arrows.
Oh, that's nice. I'm not 3rd level yet, so I mean, I gotta use something.
Temporary shields. Just pull
Yeah.
it out.
The Book of the Law.
Just open it and you like instantly get like half cover there.
All right, so you have this book. You can imagine I am not going to create this in D&D Beyond.
Oh yeah, I know.
All right.
No,
and
we
I'm
want
not
that
going
book.
to write it. I am not
We
that
want it-
good.
We want the original book with every single page.
I want all the rules. No, I'll
Yeah.
just ask you for a certain thing later.
Sure.
Yeah. All the amendums, all that stuff, and
Yeah,
every revision, every edition.
And you can be sure there are commentaries on commentaries and precision on precisions. And
Oh, it has, like, the
precisions
gnome-
on exceptions.
As the gnome
Let's ask the
citations on
viewers
the
to
side.
make it for us.
There you go.
So for
Give
anyone
me
who might
advantage.
be interested in creating this book, I repeat this, it is 6-inch thick, the size, roughly the same size as a phone book. The pages are Bible paper thin.
Oh man.
Oh, that's great.
I was about to say, like, you never said, like, how thick the pages are.
Yeah. Well, that just doubled your typical size there of pages.
I was thinking, like, of a piece of wood like about this thick. It's like 1 page.
6 inch is 5 or 6 centimeters thick.
Okay. Wait. Where's my...
The Bible is not as big.
Yeah.
Look that big.
I mean, you could knock out someone with that book.
Yeah, 6 inches probably about there.
You
Yeah.
could maybe kill someone. You have a new weapon.
Yep.
You could.
All right.
kill
So
Right,
since we're supposed to end the stream in a few minutes, I'm not going to be very mean to you. You managed to go to the town square without any problems. Trevor, Tao does come back down at one point. So, per your instruction, to warn you that there are cultists inside the city.
Yeah. And I will relay that. I'm like, just everybody keep your eyes out. He did see some. I wasn't looking through his eyes, so I don't know exactly where, but they are out and around.
So, audience, you do find about a crowd of about 10 people waiting for you as you arrive in the square. Is there anything you'd like to tell them?
There is. I will go up to them, and I will kind of like beckon them around in a kind of closer thing. And I will tell them that, unfortunately, due to circumstances, I am going to have to leave the city to carry my words onward. But what they can do in my absence is they can help spread the words, or they could basically help spread the word in my absence throughout the city. And I hope that, and hopefully when I return, there will be far more followers who will know of the light of the dragon and their worship.
The very enthusiastic halfling that was there the day before is in the crowd, and he immediately answers, of course, we understand. It is not easy being the representative of such an incredible deity. Of course you would have enemies, and we understand. We will tell everyone of the might of the dragon.
Okay. I kind of give them a bow, and then I go back to my. And I'll reach out my hand. Actually, I'll reach out my hand and I'll touch all their heads again.
While this is going on,
I'll bless
Trevor will tug on Val's dress for a minute and just make a motion to take a few steps away for a minute, talk to her for a second. He'll reach into his pocket and pull out that spy stone that we got back at the wizard school, and he's like, I'm kind of conflicted about this. You know, full disclosure, I want to tell them about it, but at the same time, if something goes south with it, if they don't know anything, it'll protect them. So what do you think? Should I tell them or not?
Do I see any of this?
I mean,
Okay, wait. What I was gonna say before that
Yes.
was I'm looking around for the same fruit guy. As this is going on. So I would not be looking at them. Just letting you know.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you're focused on finding the same fruit person, no, I would say you do not notice them doing this.
Okay. Just wondering.
But you do find the fruit guy.
Okay, yeah, alright. Yeah, I go back up to him and I'm gonna buy some more of that fruit.
Of course,
I
of
mean-
course. He is happy to sell you more fruit. How many more do you want?
I'm gonna take a dozen. No, half a dozen, like the last time.
Half a dozen. All right. I don't have on me the note of how
Goes
much it
much
costs.
over.
All right. So if you remember, go ahead. I'm gonna
If it's
trust
more, just tell me later.
you. Yeah. All right. So audience, you hear that? You touch everyone in the crowd. You actually see a half-elf woman become very moved by what you said, and when you touch her, you see her knees just flinching for a moment.
I hope I didn't sentence all those people to death. Like the cultists are gonna go kill all those people after I leave.
Yeah, they're marked
Who knows?
by you, and
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you
come
can
back.
now,
and
like,
all
you know.
of them
execution by association there.
Actually, you know what? I am gonna warn them. I'm gonna say to look out for the Black Wolf cultists. I'm gonna say to look out for
And
them.
then the halfling says, "Oh, very well, very well. We are going to watch for them. There are quite a lot of them. We will be careful."
All right. Now I feel like they won't die. That's good.
At least some
At
of
least you
them.
can leave with a clear conscience now. You gave him
Clear
warning.
conscience.
But so,
And of course, as you leave, he even says, "Do not worry, though. The might of the dragon will protect us, and he will watch over us."
Or give him a nod. Yes, you will. Bless you, my child.
yeah, Trevor's holding the stone, and he's like, "What do you think?"
I look lightly concerned, and on one hand, it would be good to tell them so we can show them that we do trust them with things important like this, but it is true that if something goes wrong, it might be better for them not to get into this whole mess.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in quite a conundrum here. Yeah, I'm kind of mixed on it. So I value your opinion. You seem level-headed. So
I mean,
So you see
We-
audience and probably Tobiyashi starting to move off. Do you follow them or you keep talking?
well, we'll keep talking, but keep a distance, or we can still talk about it while we're walking there.
All
I'd
right.
say probably 25, 30 feet behind him. I'd say.
All right. Well, you can keep talking about this for as long as you like, because if there are no objection, I'm gonna say that this stream ends with all of you walking toward the exit of the city.
Yes.
Hey.
So, this is
Ready
it
to go.
for tonight. Next time, we're gonna start with everyone as they merrily leave the city.
Yep, united once again, and
Hopefully
Actually,
for a
yeah.
while.
yeah, actually
So-
in a good place with everybody. Yeah, so-
Yeah.
He's Wizard, the wonderful. Oh, so sorry.
we're all in this together.
My gosh.
Together again. All right, so thank you for everyone watching tonight. If you missed part of the episode, of course you can always watch it back on Twitch. If you missed a past episode and you'd like to see it, well, there is a YouTube link in the panels below. For those of you wondering about lore or rule changes, I know I haven't been on my Patreon for a little while, but I was busy actually setting up the Twitter for this channel. But you can always go on the Patreon. I'm going to have it updated for the rule change, and possibly this week the new lore about at least one of the race that players encountered. And of course, if you want to support us, there is a variety of ways just down below, through subscription, Patreon, of course, and also YouTube by just following. It's always nice to know that some of you like this. So, thank you everyone, and see you all next Wednesday.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
See you.